mountains, slope, trapezoid, distance formula, polygons, and translation.
Mountain slope. You need the slope formula so that you can determine like how steep hills are and drops and jumps and things like that. Next is the distance formula, which you need to, tell how long your run is and space between jumps, things like that. Next comes, let's see, polygons, which are like the shapes and for different jumps and things like that. Then you have trapezoids, which create the entire park. Like if you look at the trail map, you've got the runs up top come down to one central point. Next you have, then you have translations, which are like dudes going down the slope, like starting at the top, going to the middle, going to the bottom. All right.
Jumps, angles, angle bisectors, legs, raise, and rotations.
So, jumps relate to angles because angles have legs. And to go off a jump, you go off one of the angle's legs. Rays are the two legs that make angles. Angles also have angle bisectors, which jumps also do too, which is just like half the height of the jump. Thank you.
Rails, polygons, area, glide, reflection, equidistant.
Rails. Polygons make up the various shapes, sizes, lengths, and widths of rails. Area is the width of the rail, like a larger width would be easier and a smaller width would be harder. Next comes glides, which would be going from the top of the rail to the bottom, point A to point B. Next is reflections, which is where you start at the top and usually do like a spin and end up same thing, so like a 360 would be a reflection. And last but not least is equidistant, which would be the middle of the rail, usually where you start tricks and special grinds and things like that.
Chairlift, circumference, symmetry, balance, parallel lines.
Chairlift. Circumference. The wire makes a gigantic circle or oval from the bottom to the top. People go up one side and the empty chairs come down the other. Next is symmetry. You have to be symmetric when you're sitting in the chair. Like if you have two people, one on each side, one person right in the middle, three people, three. If you don't, it falls or you tip off. Next is balance. Kind of goes with symmetry, but a little bit more important. If you have like a 9,000 pound person on this side and a 6-pound person on this side, obviously it's not going to be too balanced. Last but not least, parallel lines. You have one side going up, one side coming down, makes a parallel line. Also, the chairlift hanging down and the support posts going up make parallel lines.
Boarding, patterns, lines, Y and X axis.
Boarding. Patterns. Like if you do carve down the hill left and right, you make a nice snake-like pattern in the snow. Next is lines. You're on freestyle snowboarding on a huge mountain. When you pick your route, that's called a line. Next is the Y and X axis. Snowboarding is not 2D, it's 3D, so you got to be aware of your vertical axis, Y, and your horizontal axis, X.
taser.